Welcome to the Food People's food trend predictions for 2009. Globally, we could be looking at worldwide economic downturn, huge shifts in outputs and dwindling global resources. But what does that mean for food trends? Well, let's start with those trends that we believe are big or will be getting bigger during 2009. Let's start with comfort food, incorporating retro, nostalgia and feel-good foods from the past that are brought up to date for today's market. We can also expect to see more scratch cooking and home baking, more cooking from raw ingredients, greater use of cheaper cuts of meat and fish, also more cakes, tray bakes and sponges, not only because it saves money, but it also makes consumers feel great too. In our domestic market, British and British food will continue to be big, and by that we mean food from the British regions, traditions, ingredients, British breeds and species. We expect to see more of head-to-tail eating during the coming year, eating more of our fish, meat and vegetables and throwing away less, using new and forgotten recipes to utilise more of the animal, a principle that can be applied to anything. Think about deep-fried fish carcasses, the use of skin, and the clever use of vegetables to make food go further. Despite economic downturn, we expect to see sustainable sourcing continue to be important for consumers, whether that be meat, fish or vegetables. We also expect to see a change in drinking habits, more in-home drinking and a rise in popularity of drinks at home such as beer, cider and cocktails. We expect to see a general thirst for food skills and knowledge as more people attend entry-level cookery schools and meal preparation centres to teach the basics on how to get the best out of what you have. In addition, we expect to see more restaurant and farm alliances, savvy restaurateurs and food outlet owners teaming up with farms and farmers to bring consumers food that they know and trust. We also expect to see more miniaturization and customization in food. Retailers, manufacturers, brands and food businesses offering consumers the opportunity to make food smaller and customize it to their own personal needs. And not forgetting the health agenda, we expect to see more instant nutrition choices, ultra low calorie and health through natural food choices during 2009. So those are the big or bigger trends. What about the emerging food trends that we expect to see in 2009? We expect to see more from beauty foods, foods that enhance your inner or outer beauty. Also more from raw foods, foods that are eaten raw and retain all of their natural goodness. We expect to see more from free food during 2009. Free food incorporates foraging, veganism, people picking from the hedgerows, growing your own and maybe even fishing as consumers search for free or low-cost ways to collect or grow their own food. We expect to see more of a cooking style called bistronomics, avant-garde cuisine at bistro prices by using what's in season, throwing very little away and using modern cooking techniques. In theory, something that could be applied to any part of the food industry. We also expect to see a rebirth of desserts with less sugar, allowing the flavour from the ingredients to come through and perhaps a blur with savoury. As consumers miniaturise and customise, we also expect to see a rise, particularly in the grocery sector, of food delivered as and when you need it by mail. We also expect to see a rise in the use of sous vide. Sous vide to deliver convenience, consistency and quality, as well as colour, flavour and texture, both in the chef's kitchen and commercially. During next year we also expect to see more community food projects and initiatives. People power through the sharing of land, skills and knowledge to share food within communities. Having spoken to many leading figures in food, there are a number of cuisines that we expect to be modernised and interpreted in the culinary capitals of the world, so look out for modernised Greek, African, Mexican, Scandinavian and perhaps Indian influences during 2009. Also expect to see what we are calling anti-foods, anti-this and that foods. Foods that are marketed at fighting or combating certain conditions or ailments. To combat consumers' long faces, we expect more fun and humour to be introduced not only to the restaurant and upscale dining, but also to brands as well. And lastly, we also expect to see more multi-sensory, emotional food experiences, the use of alternative techniques to cook, serve and present food to deliver a more all-encompassing food experience that is truly multi-sensory. If you would like to understand how food trends can form the basis of inspiration to help you come up with exciting, motivating, inspirational and innovative new products to delight your consumer, visit www.thefoodpeople.co.uk. So that concludes our food trend predictions for 2009. If you'd like an email copy, just drop a note to helpme@thefoodpeople.co.uk.